Hey YouTube, this is Lawrence, the Mighty Comics Guy, back with another video. I was able to head down to Hasbrouck Heights, New Jersey today to check out a small show. There were maybe 10 or 11 dealers there in total, and a few guys, with some crazy good art. Nothing spectacular, but I was able to pick up a few issues, just covers that I loved and thought books that I thought that would be interesting, and I was able to get one key issue that I had been looking for that I found at a reasonable price. So I'm going to show you guys what I picked up, and we'll go from there. First one I was able to pick up was Crypt of Shadows #1. I know nothing about this book other than it's a #1 issue and that I love the cover. And I know a bunch of these horror books, especially the older Golden Age ones, are coming back and being more collectible or a fortune. I was looking at a Tomb of Terror. The guy wanted $650, which I thought was insane. But it was a beautiful, beautiful book. But I decided to go with a 70s horror book because I thought the cover was really nice and it was a #1 issue. So I figured, what the hell? It's labeled for $10. The guy didn't give me a deal, and I'll tell you about the deal as soon as I show you the books. But there you go, Crypt of Shadows #1, cool cover, 70s book. Thought I'd pick it up. The next one also I got from that same dealer is Vault of Evil #2. Again, labeled for $7, but anytime you have a chance to buy a book with a Reaper on it, I figure, what the hell, $7, Reaper cover, 70s, awesome. And this might be early 80s, but I'm pretty sure it's a 70s book, but I don't know. But either way, I thought the cover was psychotic. So how could you not love this book? I mean, it's beautiful. The guy had the grades on the back. The other one was he marked a 4.5, and this one he marked a 4.0. But beautiful cover. How could you say no for the price? So anything horror with like the Reaper or any type of main horror character, I would say, pick up, especially if they're this cheap. I don't care what Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, whatever. Pick it up because these books are going crazy. Next one, he's got marked a 5.0, and this is Crypt of Shadows #16. Again, marked $9, and I didn't pay that because the guy gave me a deal because I bought a bunch of stuff. But again, a skeleton on the front cover pretending to be a doctor or surgeon. No, you can't operate on me, not you. Don't be frightened, Mr. Ames. It will only hurt for a moment. That's classic. How could you not pick this up for $9? I don't know. Like I said, all these horrors are going crazy right now. And I thought the cover was pretty sweet. With the pink and the black and the skeleton and the guy on the bed just screaming. I mean, that's awesome. That is awesome, especially with the black. The black looks to be good. I mean, I'm going to zoom in a little to show you that. Look, that's a pretty good corner. There's no fraying along the edges. There's nothing. For $9, guys, it's totally worth it. And I was a huge, like I said in other videos that I've done, I was a huge horror kid growing up, like the Fangoria magazines and all that stuff. I thought they were awesome, so why not? The last book I picked up from this dealer, he's got marked a 4.0, was a book that I was looking for, and that is Adventure into Fear #10 with the Man-Thing. And I know I showed you Man-Thing #1 yesterday. And this book, is the prequel to that one. It's like the start of his Man-Thing run. So it says labeled $18. For those 4 books, I paid $40. To have a #1, basically, even though Man-Thing 1 we picked up yesterday, but this is technically the first of his solo series. To pay $40 for those 4 books, I thought was awesome. Even though, this one, they're mid-grade books, but they're classic covers, man. $18 for a 70s book, or early 80s, whatever it is at this point. How can you complain? I will say this, and I am not 100% sure, but you see the top of this book, how the Marvel stamp is all the way at the top, the comics code. I don't know if somebody trimmed this book or not, but we'll see when I go delve further into it. But I figured for the 15 bucks I paid for it, why not take a chance? A lot of these things were, back in the day were kind of misprinted, so I'll measure it out and see, but for 15 bucks I figured I'd take the chance of it. So either way, like the first solo Man-Thing, which is awesome. So all right, well that just gave it away on this one but again, I have 3 other books that I picked up from another dealer that I didn't pay for this book, and I'm going to give you an interesting story on it when I was talking to the dealer. So this is Tomb of Dracula number 13, which is the origin of Blade. And let me tell you, I've been searching for Tomb of Dracula 10 forever, and I just can't find a reasonably priced book. They're all like over 300 bucks, or if they're under that, they're like ripped to shreds. So I was able to pick this book up, and I didn't pay 60 for it. I paid 40 for it, which I thought was fair for an origin story of Blade. And it's a really, really nice looking book. I would say it's really like anywhere from an 8 to a 9. That's how good shape it is. So for 40 bucks, I picked it up. But the interesting story is there was another book. There was a guy, as I was looking through the long boxes, there was a guy there asking the dealer, say, listen, I have a bunch of stuff in my bag. Could you give me a price on it? What he was willing to pay for it. So whipped the stuff out of his bag, and I noticed he had a book that I was looking for. And this dealer also had the same book in the long boxes, but his copies were really, really beat up, and I didn't want to spend the money on beat up, books. So long story short, I said to the dealer, listen, I saw what the guy gave you. If you end up buying it from the guy, what would you want to sell it to me for? Because I'm looking for that book. So he did it, and he said, you know what? I'll sell it to you for 60 bucks. I said, all right, but give me this Tomb of Dracula for 40, so I give you 100 for the both. And he said, okay. He's like, if he's willing to sell it to me for the price I'm willing to pay, I'll sell you both for 100. I said, okay, no problem. So he's like, give me about a half hour, come back, and I'll let you know if he said yes. Fine. I went back in a half hour. Guy wasn't back. He hadn't talked to him yet, and I hung out for like another 15 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I got to go. So he's like, all right, I'll do this for 40 anyway, and if you come to the next show and I'm able to buy this book, I'll give it to you for the same price as 60. He said, fine, no problem. I gave him my name and number, and he'll let me know. But either way, I thought that was nice of him to do 40 on this one and on 60 on that other book, which if I get it, I will show you guys exactly what it is. But I do have a little bit surprise at the end of this to show you what that other book was. So either way, I picked this one up for 40. Next one, again, I did not pay $140 for this book. I got a deal because I bought these 3 books from this guy. So check this one out. Swamp Thing number 1. Again, another book that I've been looking for. I have the first appearance, as all of you guys know, but I've been searching for this one, the first on his own book. And all the other ones that I found were like mutilated, like really like 2.0s, 1.0s, maybe even a 3.0. But I didn't want to spend $75 for a 3.0. I thought that was too much, not being like a first appearance or something like that, especially for this. This guy listed this book for $140 on the back. I didn't pay for $140. I paid $110 because I bought the next book, and we combined everything and it gave me a nice discount. So, I mean, this book is in pretty good shape. The only thing that I could see wrong is right here. There is some creasing on this staple, around this staple. Everything else, there's really not any spine ticks. There's maybe a little bit of fraying on this corner. Even maybe not a fraying, but not pristine on this corner. And maybe that corner. But I'm talking like minute, guys. I'm trying to get this to where you guys could see it. It's just a little bent. You know what I mean? It's just like the end is not pristine. It's not like 9.0 material, if you know what I'm saying. I would say this book is like 6.5, 7.0. I mean, like that good. I mean, outside of this, I don't see much wrong with it. So for me to spend $110, I thought it was a deal, especially because of the deal I got on the next book. And that brings me to the next book, and it's, as I said, it's listed for $135. I did not pay $135. I paid $110. It is a first appearance, and one that I've been looking for. And again, every time I see this book on eBay or anywhere else, the book is like a 2.5 to a 3.0, and they're just, or people saying they're higher, and it's really not. It's just like pieces missing out of the front, pieces missing out of the back being dirty, stuff like that. Like, it's just these, I don't know why, but these books were killed, maybe because, and when you see it, maybe because the characters, they're not superheroes, but they're, you know, characters from another day, where, you know, in the 20s, stuff like that, when these characters came out, or even before that, to be honest with you. So I'm going to flip this over and show you what it is. It is Werewolf by Night. Oh, Marvel Spotlight on Werewolf by Night #2. Let me see if I can adjust that camera just a little bit to see, you can see the whole book. And as you can see, this is a pretty clean copy. I mean, right on this side, there's a little rip right there. Just a tiny, tiny one. Another here and another here. Little fraying here. But the rest of this book, there is no spine ticks. There is nothing. Maybe another little piece right here, and maybe something a little there. But the orange is beautiful, and you guys know, who follow my channel, see my videos, I love these orange books, especially in the 70s. I am infatuated with them. And I was looking for that Werewolf #1 also, and that's the book that the guy had, that he whipped out of the bag, that he said, and that book was a 7.0 at least. And to get that for $60, I thought it was great. But maybe in a couple of weeks to a month, I will be able to get it from that guy. But I was looking for the first appearance, but I was also looking for the one. So I'm more happy that I have the first appearance than I do the #1. So again, horror. Love the Werewolf by Night. Love the Tomb of Draculas. Some of my favorite 70s stuff. Like I said, I'm happy to finally have this in a decent grade, because I was looking forever and I couldn't find it. So that's my haul today, guys. That was the last book that I picked up. If I do end up getting that Werewolf by Night #1, I will definitely put it in a future video. But altogether, it was a good show. Very, very small. So a few books that I picked up, but nothing spectacular. But not too expensive keys, and that's really what we're all looking for, I think. It's very hard to find these holy grails. I'm glad that I was able to pick up some of them, you know, earlier in my life. And a few now. So this is Lawrence the Comics Guy saying thank you for watching my videos. Subscribe to my channel, and comment on my videos. Let me know what else to get next. I mean, we're all looking to get the same stuff, so tell me what you love, guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.